My Lords, I thank the Noble Earl, the Minister, for his courteous and comprehensive response, and I think it was very useful. And I very much want to thank all of the Noble Lords who took part in this debate, which I think really was a powerful exploration of the issues. Very briefly, I think Noble Lady Baroness Brinton used the phrase assets milked. And I think if we think about what we're actually talking about here, some of our most vulnerable citizens, and that's what's happening to them, I think that's a really crucial phase. And the Noble Lady Baroness Tyler talked about what is a stunning figure, £40,000 of debt per bed. And if you actually think of that physically, visually, that is just an unsustainable, a word the Noble Lord the Minister himself used. And I particularly want to thank the Noble Lady Baroness Altman, and I hope that the government will listen to their noble friend and the comparison she made with the insurance sector, and the stress on this is about people's security, the most basic security of all. This is people's home. These are care homes. And being laden with debt in the circumstances we're talking about is just supremely insecure. And I thank the Noble Lord, Lord Blunkett, for raising the plight of workers. These are the people who have gone both through the pandemic and just in their everyday life beyond and above the call of duty, caring for people. Really difficult jobs, paid at the absolute base level. So I'm actually taking some comfort from the response of the Noble Earl the Minister. I do take his point about the way 237 is worded in terms of debt, and I think it is meant to address that kind of debt held in hedge funds. It's not meant to address debt to the local linen washing service or something, and I will think about how that might be addressed in a different kind of terms. Although I will pick up what the Noble Lord said about dividends. It seems to me that should a care home chain be rescued by the government in a state of great financial crisis, it should pay that rescued money back before it pays out any dividends, I would suggest. And when the Noble Earl the Minister talked about the use of public funds, and I could almost feel the House restraining itself, since we're in constructive committee form, from making any reaction at that point. So I will just make the point that if the government wishes to avoid future scandals, the transparency offered by these amendments or something very like them would be an ideal way for the government to do that. So, and I just also the registration of overseas entities bill, this is something that indeed in the Grand Committee yesterday we were discussing how long this has taken, how much we're waiting for this, how crucial it is. This indeed is picking one sector and producing something of a trial run to see how it works and taking it forward immediately somewhere where we have an emergency situation, where we can't wait for many years for change. So, my Lords, I think this has been a very useful debate. I will reserve the right, and I note the expressions of support from all sides of the House for potentially taking this forward in report. But in the meantime, I beg leave to withdraw.